What's up, y'all? It is your girl, Sarah from Sarah Styles here. In today's video, I am going to talk about what I've been purchasing to resell on my Poshmark and eBay business and if it's worth it for me, my recommendations moving forward. So stay tuned. All right, guys, thank you so much. Welcome to my channel. Let's hop right into it. I have been buying the liquidation pallet, new with tag items from big bulk or from I have been buying liquidation pallets. So this is women's new with tag items that I buy in large lots to resell on Poshmark and eBay. I've been doing this for about 6 months now, and I really wanted to dig in and see, is it actually worth it for my reselling business? So let's hop right into it. If you are new to the channel, what we're going to be looking at is the Sarah Styles Sales and Trends dashboard. All of my recommendations, all of my business strategies are based off of numbers and based off of data. These dashboards are available for purchase. You can link that down below. You can have access to all of this data as well. You just track and manage all of your own data, and then you have access to all of these stats. So what I think is important, one of the main things when you're looking at what is doing well compared to yourself and then compared to the market. So I want to look at what my sell-through rate is for the year, what my average sell-through rate was for 2020, and what my average sale price was. And then I'll get into looking at the pallet and see how that compares to how I'm doing on average. So $33 is my average sale price. My sell-through rate for the entire year was 56%. So on average, I was selling items for $33. And of all of the inventory that I purchased last year, 56% of it sold. So that's what your sell-through rate is, how much you've sold out of how much you have for sale. So now let's hop into what I did. If you're looking to run an analysis like this and you do have the dashboard, what I did is I went into my import file and I just broke out all of the items that I wanted to look at. So this is a Free People pallet. I've purchased 3 Free People pallets, and I want to look at strictly just the Free People pallets. This is going to be a 2-part series. So I have purchased strictly Free People, and then I've purchased more like activewear, Nike, Columbia, the North Face, Marmot, stuff like that. So if you want to see part 2, do make sure to hit that subscribe button. So what we're looking at now is strictly the Free People pallet that I purchased. This data, for the sake of this, is not going to be too helpful just because it's not all of my inventory. But I want to see how I'm comparing to how I'm doing. So I am looking at one entire year of data. And before we get into that, I do want to let you know, full transparency, I've purchased 3 pallets for Free People, and I spent roughly $4,000 on all of the inventory for the Free People pallets. So far, I have made 6,800, I almost said thousands. Like, hello, Sarah, that's definitely a good deal. But so far I have sold $68,000 worth. No, 6,800. Sorry, guys. 68. I'm doing this during relaxing time for my kids. So $6,800. So as of right now, I have made a profit of $2,800 on these items. And what I would like to really show, and what's awesome about that, if you come up here and you look at this, I have only sold 44% of what I've purchased, and I've already made a almost $3,000 profit. So just from that alone, yes, this is worth it for me. But I really want to dig a little bit deeper to help me figure out what in the Free People is selling and what's working, as well as what platforms, how are they selling on the platforms. So sweaters are definitely up here. So if you're new, this chart is sell-through rate and against my average sale price. This top right means it's like my BOLO. It is a high sell-through rate and a high average sale price. So sweaters is there, 70% sell-through rate for sweaters. 70% of the sweaters that I have purchased of Free People have sold. Significantly higher than my average, 56%. $43 average sale price is also higher. I do want to note these are gross numbers. I am going to show you a chart over here just quickly to show you your average profit. it costs more to buy liquidation. I was doing thrift stores before. My average cost of goods for thrift stores is like $3 to $5. I had to bump up to $12 to buy new with tags liquidation. I started doing it because I have 3 kids at home remote learning, and it comes to me. I can order online when the kids are in bed, whatever it is. So if you don't have capital to put in, or you're a little nervous about upping your cost of good, that is something to be mindful of. However, I'm about profit. My average profit for this is $30, where if you look at my average profit for the year, scroll down here. Oh, I don't have that in here. No, here we go. Yes, we'll look at this one. So my average profit, here we go. My average, no, that doesn't work either. We'll look at this. Sorry, guys. So my average sale price is this, but my average cost of goods for all of last year was $5. So if you subtract the 2 between that, it's about $27. So my profit is higher, even though I am spending more. It's selling for higher, and it is bringing me a bigger profit. Sweaters is up there, jackets and coats. The bigger the bubble, it means the more inventory that I have for that. So if you're not looking at sell-through rate and you're like, hey, I'm selling a lot of this one thing, it's because you just have a lot of that one thing. You want to really look at your sell-through rate. If you have a lot of items and you're selling a lot of items, you'll have a high sell-through rate. But you can see down here for tops, I have a big bubble for tops. I have a lot of those items, but only 46% of them are selling through at an average sale price of $31. And then let's look at my average days on hand. I've had inventory, Free People inventory, for 6 months, as far back as 6 months. The most recently listed was probably about a month and a half ago. But days on hand here, you know, under a month, I'm definitely okay with that. Jeans is 43. So that's something I'm going to be cognizant of moving forward. I may not want to focus on jeans. I haven't, you can see the bubble is small, 44%, $39. I'm still okay with that, to be honest. That's better than a lot of my other stats. Again, this is all Free People. So, I mean, that's the only brand to compare here. We're sitting at 53% and an average sale price of $39. And my average days on hand is 24 days. So it is selling on average in under a month. The thing I wanted to kind of look at too, I always think this is really interesting, comparing the platforms. How do they sell from Poshmark to eBay? So it's definitely selling higher on eBay, but keep in mind that includes shipping and fees. So when you take all of that out, it's roughly $1.50 higher on eBay, which may not sound like a lot, but if you multiply that times, you know, 1,000 items, that adds up real quickly. And it's definitely selling at a quicker rate, right? I have made $5,300 on eBay as opposed to the $1,000 on Poshmark. One more thing I do want to look through, and then I'll let you know my recommendations, what I'm going to be doing moving forward. And then do make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can see my next palette that I do. I did a Free People palette, a couple Free People palettes, and then also more like active wear type palettes. People are home during the pandemic, January, you know, that was kind of my thinking behind it. I'll be comparing that palette to Free People and then also to all of my other inventory. So sourcing, yeah, here we go, your palette, my average profit, and then my sell-through rate here. So liquidation, is it worth it for me? One more thing I'm going to show, actually, I geek out over data. I am going to show you one more thing. So definitely I've made money. Definitely it's working. It's helpful for me because I am at home and I can do it when the kids are, you know, upstairs watching a show, or if they're playing nicely. I don't have to go out and go to a thrift store. So it is working for me. But the thing I'm going to show you is this chart. This is my sourcing chart. This is all of the places that I have sourced over the past year. The pallet is one of the worst. The rate is a little bit lower. My sell-through rate here is a little bit lower. So keep in mind this percent, this 46% includes my activewear pallet as well as my Free People pallet. So you'll see that's a little bit lower than my sell-through rate just for the Free People palette, but it's one of the lower ones. Thrift stores, bins, I mean, all of these places, garage sales, consignments, those all are selling through at a much higher rate than the pallet. A couple reasons for this. One is I just started a pallet at the end of the half of the year, right? So this is looking at a whole year, and I only had a half a year of the pallet. So that is going to skew it a little bit. But also at a thrift store, at the bins, garage sales, all of these different places, I can really pick out exactly what I want. And I do manifested pallets. However, I have yet to find a manifested pallet that has every single item that I want. They're just like other boxes, other resale boxes. They're trying to get rid of some of their bad inventory or their lower priced inventory. And so they throw it in with the better stuff. So I can't pick out where I go to a thrift store and I'm like, only picking out things that I know are going to sell well and sell high, because you can look here too. My pallet prices, average profit for the pallet is $25. That is much lower. $30, $30, right? $40, 57, 44, right? So it is lower. It's performing well. I am pleased with it, to be honest. It's doing better than I thought. I'm glad that I looked at this data. I am making money off of it. Definitely. That's the first and foremost thing. And it is performing better than I thought. However, it's not performing as well as thrift stores and other places that I can pinpoint. So for me, I will continue to do it because it's one of the only places I can be doing right now. And it has inventory flowing, but I am going to try and do thrift stores as often as I can to supplement some of that bin's find. So drop notes down below. Let me know where you guys are sourcing. Give me a thumbs up on your way out, and make sure to keep an eye out for part 2.